All right, guys. Before we move on, just to let you know, if you have certain watches that maybe you want to trade in, or perhaps you have a watch you've been looking for that you really want, but you're not sure how you can get it, we can actually help do it for you. Just fill in the details in the Google form in the comment section or the description. Either we'll already have what you want, or we will do everything we can to get it for you. So yeah, comment section and description. The 3 watch collection you need to have no matter at what stage in life you're in. Now, this is a very interesting topic because prior to this filming, we were discussing beforehand about how this thing is so important for many individuals.
Yep.
And before I give my understanding as a complete newbie, why don't you share with me what is a 3 watch collection and why that's important?
Right.
Today we don't have Dato Michael again, sadly.
Yep. I would really love his input or anyone's input on this topic, this 3 watch collection thing actually. Because it is a very widespread, I think you can call it a trend now, to talk about having just 3 watch in your collection. So obviously we have, not a lot, but for maybe a everyday user of watches, having 3 watches means that you have a watch for every occasion. It could be, number 1, a dress watch for your social engagements, maybe a dinner, maybe a party, you go to the wedding, for dates even. If you have a watch for outdoors, also consider a social event, but more like a weekend watch, like you are dressed down, you want to go out, you want to hang out, maybe with friends, maybe with family, maybe just another date that's more casual. So that's an outdoors sports watch. And you have a daily beater or tool watch that you wear every day, probably to work. You know, probably just a watch that you slap on your wrist anytime you want to go anywhere, just for the sake of telling time.
Yeah.
So that's a 3 watch. Everyone has their own interpretation of what a 3 watch is. My own interpretation is that for that 3 watch, 2 of them are social watch. One social dress, one social sports,
okay,
and the third one would be a more yourself, me time kind of watch. I like it. Nobody else recognizes it.
So social, let's start with social dress, right? You said.
Yep.
I think this one applies to everybody, right?
Yes.
Unless you're living
that's
in
a
the
good
mountain,
point.
right? It applies to everybody. Not everyone plays sports, but
Sure.
they should. But everybody has to meet another human, right?
Yeah, everyone would want to impress their boss, want to impress their dates.
Don't impress your boss too much.
Don't impress your boss too much.
I know how much I pay you. I don't think that watch.
My time
let me know. But anyway, yeah. So social watches. What are you going for? Like, should it represent your personality? Should it be something that stands out? Should it be something that's quiet?
Okay, see, this is the part where I find these kind of topics really fun.
Yeah.
Because it's really your watch.
Yes.
And then you shouldn't take into account other people's thought process, right? But I think that when it comes to a 3 watch, if you have a consideration for a dress watch,
Right.
it should be recognizable. It's a social watch. It's maybe a watch that even if they don't recognize, it should be a conversation
starter. Okay.
right?
Okay.
I think that serves a purpose of a dress watch.
Okay.
You get out there, you socialize, your watch makes it easier for you. Even if you're maybe and also introvert, right?
Yeah, it also depends on who you're trying to sort of catch attention, right?
That's
Are
right.
you talking about the average person, or are you talking about watch connoisseurs? You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. It could be anyone, really. You would sometimes most likely meet a guy who's not interested in watch at all. But if you meet someone who knows his watch, then it becomes a conversation starter.
What do you think in your experience, right? Aspects within a watch that's a conversation starter? Is it how big is it? Is it the color of the dial? I'm not sure you're using the right word. Is it the strap?
Yeah, I think
Usually what starts a conversation is my question.
okay, for me personally, it's always a vintage that starts a conversation.
Oh, so like a classy old classy looking watch.
A classy looking watch.
Right.
A vintage typically looks old, frail, scratched up, dinged up. A nice vintage has a very distinct look. Distinct old school, kind of look.
Yeah.
Not exactly
the straps have a bit of scratches.
yeah, there's a bit of scratches there, but it's very tasteful, and I think that sometimes bring people's attention from the more loud current ones, modern ones, your Daytonas, your Royal Oaks, your modern Seikos. There are tons of modern Seikos, and then just stand out in the crowd where everyone's wearing the same thing. I think vintage starts that conversation. But most times when you wear a watch, if it's a nice enough watch, like a JLC, Moonface, I think that starts a conversation because it's just that unique. It's a really pretty watch.
So what's in your collection that you would consider
a dress watch?
Yeah, let's say, if someone asks you to give the answer in 5 seconds, what would it be?
Right, okay, so I have here 3 dress watch.
Okay.
Right, so they are, unfortunately, I just realized they're all vintage. I don't know why I bought all vintage. I should have bought my more modern dress watch.
But it's in line with what you are saying, right? That vintage actually starts conversation, right?
Yes. I would want to show also a modern dress watch because I think modern dress watch are really nice.
Yeah.
Like I said just now, the JLC Moonface. There is one in the Seiko line of products right now. The Arita one is also another one that I own. But we'll talk about that next time when I have the watch.
Sure,
I'll just show you two different dress watch. There's 2 different feel. So
now, guys, if you have a watch in mind that you want us to review that we haven't reviewed yet, just let us know in the comments, right? We'll definitely respond to that and get to you ASAP.
So we have 2 very similar ones. And I brought these 2 just because I want to show you the 2 different straps that you could apply for a dress watch. So this one is a mesh strap that sits on top of the Seiko Gyro Marble. This is the gold feather, but it has a leather strap.
Right.
So this applies. It's a very simple dress watch if you watch our first filming on dress watch.
But you're actually right that the vintage watch, which is the one on your left, right? The one you're holding on your left, is the vintage, right?
Yes.
That actually gets me want to start a conversation. Because I feel like the watch on your right, I feel like I've seen it before. But on the one on your left, I think I've definitely not seen it before, right? That kind of mesh style.
Right.
So you're right.
Okay, so it's the mesh that captured the attention.
For me, yes.
Right.
And also the matte feel that I get. You see like the shine that appears on the strap is a different kind of shine. It's a more muted, a more
interesting.
You can say, it blends in a bit, but I feel like it's part of the watch, Whereas if you use a stainless steel, let's say, it's very distinct, the light where you can see.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
This is
how I think about it
what they call an integrated links, which means that the watch strap or the bracelet is directly, it gels into the watch.
It feels like it's absorbing the light,
Correct. Yeah. So that's one way to, describe this mesh. But what I also want to point out for a 3 watch is try to mix and match as many different types of straps as possible.
Right.
So you don't want to have all leather. You don't want to have all rubber. You want to have one bracelet, one NATO, one sailcloth, so on and so forth.
So 3 watches,
different
9
straps. Yeah, maybe. 10 straps maybe.
10 straps, right.
That's one good point about having 3 watches is that you don't need to just stick to one strap, one watch. You could choose a strap monster.
Yeah.
What that means is that watch goes with a few straps.
It's a Swiss Army knife watch in that sense, right? It fits all. I just have one more question on dress watches, then we can move on to the other 2. Right. And that is, since it's a dress watch, since it's there to impress people somewhat, is it fair for me to say that it should be your most expensive watch in the 3 watch collection?
That's an interesting point as well. Well, yes, if it's going to be recognizable, there are 2 ways to impress people. So if it's not recognizable because the brand, it's more obscure. Yeah. Well, yes, you probably want to go with something that is more, I would say, luxury vintage. These are 2 things that can start a conversation, right? So the luxury one, obviously, you want to go for a little bit more expensive ones. You can impress people. That, or you go for the rare ones, which is vintage. Even if you have money, sometimes you can't buy it. That starts another conversation as well. So with vintage, you actually don't have to burn your wallet that much. This one here, if I'm not wrong, current price maybe 3,000 to 4,000.
Wow.
Seiko Gyro Marble, the very first gyro technology they call the magic lever in Seiko's range. So they have their own in-house movement with it. So that's the conversation starter. It's rare. Is it expensive? Not really.
I think the key is that, and I consider myself the perfect specimen of an average person when it comes to watches.
Right.
I think if you can get the watch to ask the question that I did, it's like, oh, I've not seen that before. What's that?
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the key. What's that? You know.
Yeah, good enough.
But of course, if a watch connoisseur, maybe you want, like, they will probably recognize it, and then they will ask you other stuff, right?
I think so. Yeah, if you're a Seiko diehard fan, you probably recognize this.
Yeah. So,
but the point is, it doesn't have to be expensive.
Yeah.
It just has to be, you know, sociable.
Yeah.
A watch that is sociable. If it's a sociable watch, then I think it achieves its purpose.
Fair enough.
Yep.
So now we move on to the sports
Yep.
segment. Now, why do you need a sports? Is it so that, I mean, you know, when you're playing sports, I assume no contact sports, so I think we rule out contact sports, right? Like, you're not going to wear a watch to a football or basketball game. Maybe a tennis game.
Right.
I would not recommend a badminton game. I've been playing badminton. I think if I wore a watch, it will affect my performance on the court because of the wrist movement.
Okay, so when they actually use the word sport to describe your second watch in your collection, they don't actually mean the watch you wear for sports activities. You do want to take off your watch when you are playing,
unless you want to hurt someone, yeah.
Football. You know, we play football, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be wearing a watch and then scratch someone.
Yeah. But
Or
no,
sitting up your watch.
But that's my question, right? Like, for example, golf is a game that you wear,
sure,
right? Tag Heuer,
Sure.
we all know Tiger Woods, you know.
Sure. Yeah, those watch, you know, if it's not a contact game, I think
it's okay lah.
Makes it, you know, that much classier to have a watch.
So what do you mean when you say watch? Like sports rather?
Right. Okay. So it is a line of or a type of watch. So you have the dress watch and you have the more sporty watches.
Yes.
So sporty watches can come in a few types. There are aviators, aviation watch. There is the racer watch as well, racing watch, which we have an example here.
Okay.
So this is maybe considered a sports watch that I think is a little bit more racing than. Sorry, I'm wearing it. Yeah. So usually for a racing watch, you have chronographs.
Chronographs. Yeah, with the small little
Subdials.
holes.
They're called
Is this the
subdials.
Panda? Am I right?
This is the Panda, yeah. We've actually debuted. We actually showed this watch before when Mike was here.
Guys progress now. I can identify some watches.
Yeah. A chronograph like this is more sporty.
Yeah,
Like
actually
a
that's true.
Daytona.
That's true. I feel like if you wear that, like, hey, are you gonna dive or something, right?
Yeah, you're gonna dive, you're gonna go outdoors.
Yeah.
You're probably sleeveless. You can go with sleeve or without sleeve as well, but it's hot, right? So you want to go with something that is more ostentatious, something louder, but still recognizable, still sociable.
Right. So I'm gonna guess now is that it's gonna be. I actually wanted to make that guess that is big and bulkier and tough.
Yes.
So you said it already, but am I right to say it's also probably a more comfortable watch, and it's not as. So if you are enjoying the video so far, always remember to support us by liking, commenting, and subscribing. Click on the notification bell so whenever new videos pop, you'll know it right away. You know, like fancy or not as conversation starting as
on the contrary,
social.
I think for a sports watch, because like I said, my take on the three watch collection is that out of the three, the dress is a sociable one, a social watch. The sports one is in fact also the social watch. In fact, more social. I argue that it's more social because you wouldn't spend most of your time on a weekend in a dinner event or party or
so this is like sounds like an everyday watch then.
This is more everyday. The ones that you wear when you hang out with friends on a weekend.
Yeah.
When you want to look good as well, you know, not just to impress people.
I assume that it's a watch that you can bang about also, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. I'm just saying.
Appreciate the watches.
Yes.
Yeah, but you know, it's also a watch that you want to wear when you hang out. It's just a hangout watch. But when you hang out, you just want to dress. You also want to dress up, right? So I say that it's also considered a social watch.
Like, should we expect sports watches to be more comfortable than the other two?
I think all watches should be comfortable.
Okay.
Physically, you know, it has to sit on the wrist well.
Right.
It has to also make you feel good. It doesn't make you feel self-conscious of your small wrist. Doesn't make you feel self-conscious that is it too loud? Is it too colorful? Will I get my hands chopped off if I walk down this lane? It shouldn't be that, you know.
Yeah.
It has to be comfortable in every way.
So it should be a bit more affordable, I'm gonna guess, than a typical
Okay, so
dress watch.
this is where I think maybe different countries, different societies have different takes.
Interesting.
Some, they go to, let's say, a dinner party all the time. So I'm sure that their black tie event would require you to have a much expensive dress watch. But I think in Malaysia, hot country, right? Singapore, like you go out, you hang out with friends. Typically, you just hang out in the regular restaurants, right?
Right.
At the same time, you still want to impress your friends with the latest watch you have bought, the latest Mercedes you have bought. So they usually will just invest in a Rolex Sports. Daytona is one of such example. Very famous sports watch. Everyone wants it. The Panda. Vacheron Constantin
BC,
as well.
right?
A BC, yes. And then you have, very regular Seiko sports watch like that. But if you're not talking about such high-end watches, you can go for a simple Seiko 5. Tons of great sport watch there. And that would be the cheaper range. But still, does it work? Recognizable. It's a cheap, budgeted watch. And then it serves its function to...
Fantastic.
You don't really want to start a conversation there. It is a more subtle way of showing, hey, I'm doing well. I'm successful.
Okay.
We are out in a social event, so we're just having fun. Not much of a pressure there to showcase your watch.
You don't need to like match it with your clothing and things like that.
Yeah, a strap monster, you could change up a different strap and it'll be a different watch the next week. It could go with any shirt. In fact, I would say if it's a watch that goes well with your jeans, that's a sports watch.
And most watches goes well with jeans, right?
It has to. I mean, jeans probably goes well with anything.
Yeah, it's such a all-weather kind of...
Think of it as the jeans of watch.
There you go, jeans of watch. The last bit is a more subjective one, it's a more personal one.
Yep.
I'm going to take a guess and see whether I got it right. And
Sure.
that is maybe something that represents you, something that when you're a bit stuck and you're not quite sure what to wear, and you go for it.
All right.
Maybe or you're a loud guy, you get a loud watch. Quiet guy, you get a small watch. I don't know.
I like to think as my third watch is considered the hybrid between sports and dress. So I have two takes on the third watch. So the first take would be, if you remember, I bought a Casio here, the Data Bank, which is Marty McFly's watch.
Yes.
Yeah,
Back to the
that is
Future.
a great third watch. I wear that to sleep.
Wow.
I wear that to wash dishes. I wear it everywhere
Yeah.
that I don't have to bother about its condition.
Clean chicken. Cook.
Clean, dirty, beat up, throw it down from 20th floor, it still survives.
Yeah.
But if I want to have a better, maybe more high-end third watch, I want to go with something that can be
Okay.
an
What is
outdoors
this?
watch, can be a dress watch as well.
Okay, why not?
Just to switch it up. It's more colorful too. I like this watch. This is called the Alpinist, a Seiko Alpinist.
Very nice.
Yeah, sub 70.
Very rugged, I have to say.
This is an Alpinist, which means it's a field watch. So it's an outdoors watch. The watch you wear when you
I feel
climb
like it's a
mountain.
watch that Indiana Jones would wear, you know?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's a
I
great
think the brown.
compliment.
For me, the key is the brown.
The brown.
The brown is a very like Bear Grylls, Indiana Jones. I'm gonna go into the jungle kind of watch, you know?
It is meant to be an outdoor watch,
Yeah,
like a Hamilton field watch. I think they are a bit different, but it brings the same vibe.
Yeah.
At the same time, it could be a bit dressy as well
Yeah, because of the shine.
because of the shine, because of the gold, because of the green, because of the sunburst. I think it's a really popular watch for that reason. It's very versatile.
I see.
Yeah. So for this watch, for the third watch, it's really up to you. Wear a watch that speaks to you, that tells people who you are. I would hope to see the third watch being more of a me watch.
A me watch.
Yeah, a me watch. It's a watch that I like. It's a watch that.
And this watch that you're showing us, like how much this Seiko, how does it go for?
Oh, sure. Okay. So we have this sports watch is about, if I'm not wrong, it retails about 2008 in Malaysia,
Okay.
about 800, 900 in Singapore.
Yeah.
I think you can find cheaper if you're hardworking enough. It's not expensive, but
If you want us to find it for you, let us know.
yeah, at a cheaper price, hopefully. But I think this is a great watch because it's a solar watch.
Solar.
So, yeah, you don't have to wind it or what.
Okay, how about the other Seiko?
Yeah, so this is the one that got your attention just now. It's about 3,000 to 4,000 simply because it has historical value.
Yes.
Lots of history behind this. I
And
think
then-
I like this because of the mesh as well. Yeah. We have here the Sub 17. I think 2 years ago I bought this, or 3 years ago I bought this used for about maybe 1,008.
Okay.
Today it's about 3,000.
3,000.
Yeah, it's a very popular watch nowadays.
Excellent, excellent.
So it's a good watch.
All right.
And sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Go.
One more thing maybe to add on is that when it comes to these 3 watches, mix it up, different straps. I was wearing this. This is a vintage Turtle Seiko as well. This is a NATO strap.
NATO, okay.
This is a NATO strap. Cloth. Yeah. This is a sailcloth strap. So
looks more hardy.
Very hardy. Yeah. You have seen many examples of leather straps as well. And play around with maybe the last one. This is a very famous SKX 007. This is a Jubilee strap. Now, before we go, before you ask your last question, I want you to guess. Do you think this is a dress watch, a daily watch, or a sports watch?
If I had to pick one only, I would say a dress watch.
This one?
Yeah.
No, okay. This is a sports watch. Maybe sports or a daily watch. Because this is a diver watch. It has that bezel.
Oh yeah,
here.
that's true. Yeah. I notice it now, yeah.
A bit more complicated for a dress watch. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So play around with the straps and have fun with it.
All right, guys, you heard that. And, thanks for sharing these watches. And I think more important than the watches, actually the concept. Right? I think it really provides a framework for buying watches, right? It's not just, that watch nice, I buy. It's like, okay, what are the situations? Then kind of reverse engineer what you want
that's
to be in those situations.
Yeah.
Right?
You don't want to be in a situation where you buy the same watch multiple times.
Yeah. You don't want to go to, you don't want to wear your Casio to your friend's wedding lah. Let's just put it that way.
Yes.
Right.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Then again, maybe depends on the wedding lah. You never know, right?
Well, there are different types of Casio. There are dressier Casios, but I would say for an event that you really want to impress people, buy a nice watch. It will serve you well.
Alright guys, thanks for staying all the way until the end. Hope you enjoyed the videos. Let us know in your comments, right? If you have other, how do you organize your own watch collection? What is your me watch? We always want to see. We're always interested in your thoughts. And of course, if you want us to help you source some of the watches mentioned, just fill up the Google form in the comments or the description. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Ciao.
All right, bye-bye.